Welcome back to Winthrop Close Up. I'm Demetri Williams with your Eagle Sports Update. From headaches to insomnia, stress takes a major toll. But as a reporter Alan Bolin uncovers, feeling better is as easy as flexing a muscle.
We're all different, and we all deal with stress differently.
With the new school year now in full swing, some Winthrop students are already understanding the full meaning of the word stress. So the question remains, what can be done about it?
Exercise.
Exercise.
Primarily, there are physiological responses, hormones that your body releases to reduce stress.
In layman's terms, chemicals inside your body are released when you are more active, which allows your brain to calm down after a workout.
So your blood pressure is elevated, your heart rate is up, your muscles are tense, and so exercise is the best way to deal with the flight or fight responses that the nervous system puts a person through.
There's hundreds of ways to exercise. Everyone prefers something different, but what is the best way to exercise?
I think lifting weights and doing resistance training is one of the best ways of dealing with stress.
Badminton, my rock climbing classes, some of the outdoor education classes.
So you want to do cardio as well, like running on a treadmill for a certain period of time, even going for a hike, anything.
Intramural sports, so I'm heavily involved in that, whether it's flag football, soccer, volleyball, basketball, anything to reduce stress. I usually do it by sports.
It really comes down to the individual and what kind of exercise they want to do to reduce stress. I'm Adam Bolin, reporting for Winthrop Close Up.
Other factors which influence your ability to handle stress include your nutritional status, overall health, and the amount of sleep and rest you get. The Winthrop ladies basketball team is working on stress-free attitudes. Reporter Alexandria Savage shows us the steps they are taking towards success.
Last season they made it far, but coaches and players feel they've got a winning formula this preseason that will take them farther.
Well, this summer and working towards the fall, we're basically working on strength and their overall endurance.
Recently, I had an injury in the summer. I tore my Achilles, but I'm slowly getting back into it, and I'm just working hard so that I can come back stronger than I was last year.
But what we're trying to do is just mainly keep them healthy by training for not only strength and speed, but agility and balance and coordination, proprioception, kinesthetic awareness, and all other aspects of their training.
We're a staff that really believes in the fundamentals of the game.
Since they did really, really well last year, we only really need to replace one person, so we have a pretty solid team as it is.
And I think that this team has great leadership, and we now have the experience, and this is the year we're going to go for it.
So what can we do as students to help support the team?
Winthrop is a basketball school, so let's support both programs. The men only have 15 home games, the women have 14 home games. Let's set it a goal to make 25 of the 29 home games. I think that's an achievable goal. We need you. We need you loud. And we need you hostile.
Alexandria Savage signing off for Winthrop Close Up.
So do your part and come out and support our Lady Eagles. And now for your NCAA football update. The top 5 spots remain unchanged as each team either beat their opponent or had the weekend off. LSU climbed up 2 spots after defeating Kent State 45-13. Texas A&M dropped down 4 spots after losing to number 1 ranked Alabama 49-42. To see the full AP Top 25 rankings and scores of NCAA football games, go to ESPN.com. That's all we have this week for your Eagle Sports Update. Tune in next week to see how one of our own Eagle softball players could be traveling the world. Let's see what Cheyenne has for us in Arts and Entertainment.
Thanks, Demetri. We'll take a look at what Winthrop's theater department is currently working on and how one Winthrop alumnus made it to Disney. But first, our YouTube pick of the week, Dramatic Cat. to Arts and Entertainment. I'm Cheyenne Lewis. The theater department is ready to tickle your funny bone. Reporter Megan Mack went to find out what musical is coming to the Winthrop stage.
While other students have been adjusting to school, the theater department has been getting ready for their latest production of Urinetown, the musical. With practices every night, the stage manager admits it hasn't been the easiest preparing for the show.
Well, I guess the main obstacle would be the time frame. We started the first day of school with auditions, and the show opens early October, so there's that middle August and all of September, and then showtime.
While it hasn't been all fun and games for the cast, some members are taking away more than just experience.
I've met a lot of incoming freshmen and people that I didn't even talk to from, last year. So it's been great to get to know people here.
The Tony Award-winning show criticizes politics while also making fun of other Broadway musicals, and lead Jonathan Hoskins hopes that the audience leaves doubled over.
I hope the audience will be very entertained and just come see the show. It's a very interesting show. Just come see it and feel how you want to feel about it.
Reporting from Winthrop Close Up, I'm Megan Mack.
Urinetown comes to town October 3rd through the 6th. Tickets will be $10 with Winthrop ID. One Winthrop alumnus is working for Walt Disney Animation Studios in Los Angeles. Reporter Leslie Brown shows us how he got his dream job and how you can too.
Substrates. I needed to know about how someone would...
From Winthrop to Walt Disney, Matthew Fretchel is making a name for himself. He didn't go straight to Los Angeles after graduating in 2003 with a photography degree. He interned in different states along the way.
New York, Atlanta, Los Angeles.
Currently, he is an image capture specialist at Walt Disney Animation Studios, taking pictures of different images that may or may not be in Walt Disney films. Matthew Fretchel says that he loves his job because of the opportunities he receives.
You get to see a lot of stuff that no one else has ever seen and probably will never see.
Even though many say that art majors have a hard time finding a high-paying job after school, Matthew Fretchel proved that stereotype wrong. Mark Hamilton, a fine arts professor here at Winthrop, says he remembers Fretchel's perseverance as a student.
I was always hard at work, and I really think that his tenacity is something that really made me feel like Matt would be successful.
Chris Smalls, a student who attended the alumni presentation that featured Fretchel's work, says the program opened his eyes.
Definitely reinforcing my ideas that I am going to have to work hard to be successful, but it's definitely it's still a hope, and as long as I work hard, it's possible. So.
Fretchel says that Winthrop prepared him for his life after college.
They gave me a great foundation, both in art and in photography, but also just just being so involved on campus, like just the things that you learn by being in a group and leading people, along with just the education.
Fretchel advises all students to take a lot of jobs, even if it's not their dream job, and to build a portfolio while in school, because it will ultimately help them after school when looking for a job. I'm Leslie Brown, reporting for Winthrop Close Up.
Matthew Fretchel says he will never forget the Eagles and will always come back to visit. Winthrop gospel singers are prepping their vocal cords for the 4th season of Sunday's Best here at Winthrop University. Harrison Garvin tells us more on how singers are tuning up.
You are the name above all names.
Winthrop Vision of Praise is back again with their version of Sunday's Best.
This is actually season 4 of Sunday Best. We've been doing Sunday Best ever since fall of 2011, so we're just so happy to be able to do it one more time.
The auditions are going great. There's been a number of students to sign up.
This year we've had a very, very good turnout. We've had a good bit of freshmen, sophomores, and juniors audition this year, so we look to have a great competition with all the applicants that we've received and heard thus far.
Some students only want to showcase their talent, while others are going for the gold this season.
First prize winner, or the first place winner, will get a $100 cash prize along with a trophy, and the runner will receive a trophy as well.
Find out which student will be named this season's Sunday's Best.
Sunday's Best will take place on October 27th at 5 p.m. in Tillman Auditorium. Tickets are $2 for students with the ID and $5 for the public.
This is Harrison Garver reporting for Winthrop Close Up.
If you've lived in Rock Hill for long, you've probably noticed that there's not much to do at night unless you find a way up to Charlotte. Reporter Chelsea Vicari shows us why you're not alone.
College students everywhere look forward to the same thing every week, the weekend. Clubs, bars, shows, and other nightlife are on everyone's mind. Aside from a few bars here and there, Rock Hill is lacking in the entertainment department. The Money was an old club right across from campus when it closed and was rebranded as Firewater 110 in 2012. The club was host to a variety of different performers that sometimes drew quite a crowd. Entertainer Dustin Carpenter has performed here as part of the group Young and Barren.
I've had a lot of friends that have played here and a lot of friends who have played there. I played my first show here in at least one of my bands. And being a part of the community, you kind of need just all that you have, and just one less place we have to go.
Other musicians have come through Rock Hill and played house shows around town, but these types of DIY venues have also ended.
It's more than partying, because that's what a lot of people look at it as when the cops would come. Be a bunch of crazy kids going off, but it's not about that. It's about everyone coming together and have a good time and having our own world inside of somebody's living room.
While a lot of Winthrop students can go to Charlotte to have a good time, some say they just can't afford it and stick to having get-togethers at their houses.
It's better to just have a get-together in town, because you park in a driveway for free, you don't really have to pay for drinks. If everybody just chips in for, you know, whatever you want to have for the party, then the fees are done, and it's pretty simple after that.
While bars like McHale's and Pub House still stand, clubs and music venues seem to be a thing of the past in this town. Until then, this is Chelsea Vicari reporting for Winthrop Close Up.
Seems out of town is the only way to enjoy one's night. But before relocating, consider what your community has to offer. Arts and entertainment is at its end. Until next week, let's take it over to Megan and Chelsea for our world news.
Thanks, Cheyenne. UN inspectors are planning a return trip to Syria to follow up on claims of chemical weapon abuse. The visit could happen as early as next week. United Nations inspectors confirmed the use of sarin gas in the August attack in Syria, but do not assign blame. Meanwhile, Syria has agreed to surrender its chemical weapons. The 3,000 workers who normally work at Washington's Navy Yard are at home as investigators look for answers after military contractor Aaron Alexis gunned down 12 people and wounded 8 others. Police say the 34-year-old gunman went into the Navy Yard this Monday morning and started shooting. The 12 people killed were all civilians or contractors.
Runoff from last week's flood in Colorado is rushing towards Nebraska. The floods killed 6 people. Hundreds more are missing. Helicopters returned to the skies above Colorado this week in hopes of rescuing more than 600 people stranded by the floods. Now the runoff is making its way to neighboring Nebraska. Rescue workers there are preparing for the worst. After a rocky start, the Costa Concordia is finally upright. The ship ran off the Italian coast over 20 months ago. It has taken more than a year, what seemed like an eternity for many, to get this ship ready to roll upright. The Costa Cruise Company has paid about $800 million for the operation to right the ship.
That's it for this week's edition of Winthrop Close Up.
If you have any suggestions or story ideas, shoot them over to the email listed below.
And stay in touch by following us on Twitter at Winthrop Close Up. See you next week.